I didn't walk into that bank expecting fireworks. I just needed to deposit a check my son had sent to help fix the busted water heater. Simple errand, quiet morning, nothing fancy. I wore my lavender church dress, the one I usually save for Sunday service because, well, it made me feel a little more like myself. You reach a certain age, and you stop dressing for the world. You dress for dignity. I was raised that way. Head high, blouse pressed, earrings small and gold, hair pinned up neat. That's who I was walking in that morning. The bank's changed over the years. Used to be a credit union with green carpet and real people. Now it's all touchscreens and suits too tight to trust. I walked up to the counter, smiled like I always do, and handed the check over to the young woman behind the glass. Her nails were long, tapping on the keyboard like she had more important things to do. I said good morning, told her it was from my son Anthony. She didn't smile back. She looked at the check like it smelled bad, then asked, "Is this yours?" I told her yes. My son sent it yesterday. She didn't ask for ID, didn't verify anything. Just typed my name into the system, raised an eyebrow, and said, "Anthony Preston? And who exactly is that?" I said, "My son." She asked what he does. I told her he owns a clean energy firm. She clicked her tongue and said, "This check's almost 10 grand. We don't process suspicious amounts without verification." Then she reached over, picked up the check with 2 fingers like it had something contagious on it, and slid it into the shredder. The sound wasn't loud, but it might as well have been a cannon going off. I just stood there stunned. That money wasn't for shopping. It was for the heater, a few doctor copays, maybe groceries. It was help, not charity. Help. From my son. She looked at me and said, "If it's real, he can send another one." I asked for the manager. She didn't blink, just waved to the next person in line. I backed away, hands trembling, and sat down in one of those cold vinyl chairs by the lobby. My stomach twisted like something had died in it. I hadn't cried in public since my husband's funeral, and I wasn't about to start now. But I felt something crumble. Not because of the check, but because of the way she looked at me. Like I was a liar. Like I didn't belong. Then I saw it. On the big screen above the ATM Machinisa slideshow of local business partners. And there he was. My son. Smiling in a charcoal suit, standing behind a podium. The caption said, "Anthony Preston, CEO of Preston Energy, speaks at the Gateway Economic Summit presented by First Meridian Bank." That bank. This bank. The same one that just shredded his check like it was trash. I stared at the screen. A woman in line gasped. A man whispered, "Isn't that the guy on the check?" The air changed. Daniela, I saw her nameplate, turned her head, then went pale. The manager who hadn't come out earlier suddenly popped out of his office, sweating through his suit. He rushed over to me like his shoes were on fire. "Mrs. Preston, to think there's been a terrible mistake. Could we step into my office?" I looked at him and said, "I asked to speak to a manager 30 minutes ago." We went in anyway. I didn't sit at first. Just stood near the chair and watched him fidget. He said they were embarrassed. Said Danielle was new. Said it was a misunderstanding. I said, she didn't ask for ID. Didn't verify the check. Just assumed I was lying. He opened his mouth like he wanted to defend her, but nothing came out. I said, "That check was from my Sona, man you have plastered all over your branch. I raised him by myself. Worked 3 jobs to do it. And today, I stood out there while your employee treated me like I was nothing." He apologized again, promised to replace the money. I said, "I don't need you to fix the money. I need you to fix the thinking." That sentence hung in the air like a fog. An hour later, my son walked into that bank. Didn't come with a lawyer or a camera crew. Just jeans and a windbreaker with his company logo. He asked for the woman who shredded the check. They said she was on leave. He asked if she was fired. They said not yet. Protocol. He said, "So your protocol protects her job before protecting my mother's dignity?" Then he handed the manager a piece of paper. A list of every company his firm partnered with that also banked with First Meridian. "If you want to keep those accounts," he said, Your corporate office makes a public apology. Today, people were watching. Phones were out. The post went viral. 6,000 shares in an afternoon. He didn't tag the bank. Didn't need to. The internet did it for him. The caption read, "Imagine shredding a check from this man's mother, then playing his promo video 5 feet away." News picked it up. Radio stations read his post aloud. People started telling their own stories. A veteran denied a withdrawal. A young mom asked for 3 IDs. A retired teacher made to wait in the rain. And in every story, the same thread, doubt, dismissal, and that same quiet look that says, "You don't belong here." A reporter asked if I'd do an interview. I said I didn't want the spotlight. But my son said, "Just talk like you're talking to me." So I did. From my living room. Curtains I sewed myself in the background. I told the truth. I wore my church dress. I brought my ID. I smiled. And they looked at me like I was scamming them. And if that's what they think of someone like me, imagine what they do to folks without a CEO for a son. The clip hit 3 million views. First Meridian issued a formal apology. Cold. Sterile. No names. No ownership. Just polished regret. And the teller? They never mentioned her. Never said sorry to me. Not once. Not in person. Anthony declined their meeting request. Said, "You can send your apology by email. Or better yet, send it to every customer you ever dismissed quietly because they didn't look right for a check." Then the stories kept rolling in. From Kansas City, Detroit, Baltimore. People who'd been told, "You can't open that account here. We need more proof. You'll have to come back with a witness." My son started something called the Preston Fund. 2 rooms above a barber shop, 1 printer, 1 coffee machine, and a lot of heart. They helped seniors open accounts at credit unions. Trained bank staff on Dignity First service. Even ran a hotline for folks who felt dismissed but didn't know what to do about it. I volunteered there twice a week. No title, just folding letters and listening. One day, a young girl brought her grandmother in. The lady whispered, "I ain't trusted a bank in 40 years. But maybe now." And that's all I ever wanted. Not fame, not revenge, just better. So if you've ever stood in a room and felt like you didn't belong, like you were being sized up before a single word left your mouth, remember this. Your dignity isn't something they give you. It's something you walk in with. And sometimes you have to remind them. If this story meant something to you, I invite you to share it. Or better yet, tell your own. Tell us in the comments, have you ever been quietly dismissed? Was it a look, a word, a policy? What does dignity mean to you? Because real change doesn't start on a podium. It starts in the lobby, at the window, with someone who just wants to be seen.